Hello everyone! So as you can see here, we've got a bunch of cream eyeshadow sticks and it's spring. I figured we should do a bit of a declutter. Let's do some spring cleaning together. So you guys can see I have a lot and I'm just finding that my cream eyeshadow collection is just getting a little bit crazy. So what I'd like to do is kind of declutter a bunch, but I will hold them on the side for a little bit, just in case you guys have any ideas for upcoming cream eyeshadow videos. You guys know I love doing videos on cream eyeshadows on my channel, so if you're interested in any updated videos that I've already done, new videos, all things cream eyeshadow, please leave a comment down below. And if any of these that are being decluttered end up fitting well into that video, I will film with them and then pass those along. All that's to say is that a lot of these will be going into limbo, I guess. But you guys can tell that I have a lot, and I apologize, by the way, this bin is disgusting. I keep a lot of these like bins. I just got this at like the dollar store to kind of organize products that I know I need to talk about for a video. And as you can see, they get kind of dirty. So these are, of course, the notorious NYX Jumbo Eye Pencils. You can see this is the new packaging, and then these are the old packaging. So I'll give you swatches of all of these. This is the shade Milk, and it is probably one of the most popular shades in the line. It's really, really good if you want to highlight the face, I have found. I have a whole video on that if you're interested in that. It also helps any color that you put on top. If you use this as a base, it helps them pop. This is the shade Iced Mocha, I believe. Yes, and this is another absolutely gorgeous shade. It's just a nice kind of medium toned brown with a touch of a golden shift. And I like that the gold shift to this isn't too warm. I just find that I really enjoy shades like that. And then this is the shade Dark Brown. I have to tell you that I feel like this is my favorite and one of my most used cream eyeshadows ever because, I mean, can you even see like how even the pigmentation is on these? But anyway, I love using this to smoke out my outer corners. I will do like a winged eyeliner with this. I will put it even in the waterline. This is very, very budge proof. All of these last beautifully. So if your cream eyeshadows tend to wear off very quickly, I highly suggest these. They are affordable, and oftentimes they also come in bundles. There are often sales on them, you know, buy one, get one 50% off. So just be on the lookout. They are very affordable and quite beautiful. And something probably worth mentioning now is that you're going to find that I have a lot of affordable favorites in here. I actually find that I like a lot of affordable cream eyeshadow sticks. And I didn't really realize until I was like pulling them all out. I have quite a few fader. Why can't I say that? I have quite a few affordable favorites. Okay. Next up, we have some of my favorite cream eyeshadows out there. Stick or no stick. These are great. All right, so these are the e.l.f. No Budge eyeshadow sticks. You can see I have a few different shades here. This was the first one that I picked up, and it is the shade Copper Chic. It's still one of my favorites. First of all, I love that it is a screw top up here. You can see it, you actually get quite a bit of product, but this is definitely one of my favorite shades. It's just really perfect for every day. The blend is super easy, the pigmentation is beautiful, and they also last really well. So they're not going to be quite as budge proof as the NYX, but they are a little bit easier to blend. They're not quite as waxy, I think. They just make for a really perfect kind of everyday eyeshadow. So that is the shade Copper Chic. I have some limited edition shades in here. So this is the shade Melt With Me, and this is from the Mint Melt line. I'm not sure if this is still available, but I'll have all of the products that I talk about linked down below. But yeah, the richness and the smoothness of all of the shades that I've used. I mean, it's very consistent throughout the shades, which I think is very important because within a line, you know, you're never sure. I have to talk about this shade. This is the shade Chill Zone. I will leave my tutorial using this shade down below. I did kind of like a soft kind of mod look, and I just love this shade so much. I want to use it more and more. I'm just afraid of like you guys getting annoyed that I'm using it so much, but I feel like I'm wanting to reach for it over and over again. Love that. And this white shade is actually, I never thought that this would be possible, but I actually prefer this to the NYX shade in Milk. I just find that this is easier to blend and easier to work with. It's just a bit creamier and I absolutely love it. This is perfect to brighten up an eye look, especially kind of in the inner corner. I definitely want to keep using this in some tutorials just to give you a better idea of how I like to utilize this. I find that it's actually incredible at kind of cleaning up the eye area, adding structure, adding brightness. It's just a very beautiful multi-use product. And then I have two more shades. This is the shade Cookie Lover, and it's actually quite similar to Melt With Me. You can see it's just a little bit more cool toned. So they're pretty similar, but again, this one just has a bit more of a cool tone shift, while this one has a little bit more of a golden warm thing going on. And then lastly, I have the shade Midnight Milkshake, which sounds really good. I'm a huge ice cream lover. I don't know if I've talked about that before, but I'm kind of, yeah, no, I'm not kind of, I am a huge ice cream lover. But anyway, it's just a creamy black with a bit of a sparkle throughout. So they're great, affordable, and certainly one that I would recommend. I'm not going to declutter any of these. Now, let's talk about an eyeshadow that I think is going to be going into limbo. So this is a new product, I believe, from Wet n Wild. I had really high hopes for this. It's the Wet n Wild Color Icon Multistick, and this is the shade Champagne Room. So, kind of needs to, it's kind of coming out a little bit, but anyway, nothing against the formula really, other than it's just kind of lackluster. It looks really reflective and pretty there, but as I've used it on the eyes, it just doesn't really give me the reflection I'm looking for. It does wear really nicely. The formula, you know, it has a nice blend, it's creamy enough, but just something about the way it washes over the eyes just leaves a little bit to be desired. I feel like I might have to use it a couple more times, but for now it's definitely going to go into the declutter bin. Another product that was a bit underwhelming to me is this shade from Clinique. It's the Chubby stick in the shade Ample Amber. Okay, that one's gonna go over there for now, but hopefully you can kind of see the similarity. This has a really gorgeous texture. There's a silkiness about it. It blends really nicely, but on the eyes itself, it's just a bit flat. It's not really giving me the shine that I am looking for. And I do think that satin products are pretty. There's nothing wrong with a satin look for the eyes, but a satin should be creamy looking. It should still offer a light reflection and make the eyes look healthier. And both of these they just leave a bit to be desired in that category. So this is going to go into the limbo category, the declutter bin, or whatever I'm calling it at this point. And then the shade, oh my gosh, you are over there. That was kind of creepy. That shadow is not excited about being in the declutter bin. But anyway, this shade though, Lots of Latte, from the Chubby Sticks, is really good. I think that this shade, again, still has that creamy, buttery texture to it. And on the eyes itself does give that pretty satin finish that looks creamy and blended and, you know, has a little bit more of that light reflection, healthy look. So yeah, this one is going to stay. All right, a cream eyeshadow stick that I love. Love, love, love so much. These are the Dazzle Sticks from KVD. The only downside to this product that I could ever think to mention is that they are always sold out. I will try to leave them down below wherever they are in stock. They do, again, they tend to go in and out like very quickly, so it's really difficult to kind of pinpoint it. However, these are some of the best looking wet eyeshadows that last long and are also very convenient. That's really saying a lot. So I have two shades. I have the shade Flash Storm, which is my absolute favorite, and then the shade Hail Surge. So Hail Surge is just a very, very pretty champagne. You can see it right there. The reflect is smooth and gorgeous, but again, these go on the eyes and they stay where you put them. I find that you can go straight from the tube and apply them on the eyes, but you can also just take a finger and tap it on from there. Shade Flash Storm, again, is my favorite because it's just incredibly unique. There is just something about the way that this reflects and that wet, smooth effect on the eyes that it just makes for a perfect high shine eyeshadow that also has the longevity that a lot of these kind of products don't have. They are the bomb, and I have swatched some of the other shades, and I just feel like these are the two shades that really stand out and are just, in my opinion, the most beautiful. So these are certainly staying. Now this is an eyeshadow that I need to keep trying, and it's from Colourpop. It's the Colourpop Colorstick, and this is the shade Check Please, and it's a creamy matte. I've used it once. It kind of got all banged up. The top kind of broke off, but geez, I mean, what did I expect to happen? The texture is a little bit odd on these. I can't really put my finger on it, but it just has a bit of a resistance that makes it a little bit more difficult to blend. I'm starting to lean towards this not being such a great formula, but I need to keep trying it out. Also, you get 0.021 ounces to give you an idea of what some of these other eyeshadows, the amount that you get 0.05 ounces in the e.l.f. and then you get 0.021 in the Colourpop. So it's not just the packaging that looks small, you actually do get like a lot less product than typical. And that's something that I've always kind of had an issue with cream eyeshadows about, is that you just don't get as much product as you do with some other cream formats. A product I would like to declutter is the I'm Meme Stick Shadow. This is the shade Sugar Bling. I talked about this before, but it just doesn't give me enough shine. I understand that a lot of K-beauty makeup is a little bit more on the subtle side, but I just find that it could have been just more glittery. Like the glitter particles don't really reflect a ton on the eyes, and it's just a bit lackluster. So this is going to go into that limbo bin. However, an eyeshadow that does bring the shine that I really like is this by Terry Ombre Blackstar, and this is the shade Frozen Quartz. I actually saw Shelby Wilson talk about kind of like this green gold shade pretty recently. I feel like I need to buy that one because it's creamy and shiny and reflective, and it lasts really beautifully as well. I feel like as far as cream eyeshadow sticks go that are more luxury, this one just offers a shine that I really like, and it kind of delivers, you know what I mean? A lot of these eyeshadows, if you haven't noticed, sometimes they're just a bit too flat looking for me. A lot of the times it's the formula itself that leaves me kind of wondering if there could have been something more done with the formula in general, but this one delivers. We have a couple of eyeshadow sticks from Makeup Forever. So I have the shade Earth, 6 Earth, and this is the one that I've had the longest. This is a beautiful, beautiful shade. And then I also have this shade Jungle, and this is a newer shade to me because you guys know I love green. And yeah, is that not like a gorgeous jungle green? The only downside to these, one, they wear beautifully. They look so beautiful on the eyes. So they're great as like a base. They're great on the lower lash line. They're so easy. Like in general, as far as more luxe eyeshadows go, they're absolutely stunning. The only thing that I have trouble with sometimes is that if you wear concealer as a base to your makeup for any of your eye looks, these tend to get diluted pretty easily. Like the colors themselves can be a little bit skewed if you do use concealer on the eyes first. So I have to kind of switch up my routine in order to get the full effect of these, which is, you know, it's just a little bit of an inconvenience to me. But aside from that, you know, if you just use a clear primer, you will still get that pretty color, and wow. Or actually, these together, that would be a pretty look. Something to keep in mind. Next, we have the Color Chameleons from Charlotte Tilbury. So I have 2 shades. I have the shade Cosmic Gold, which is a very, very pretty warm toned gold. And then I also have the shade Dark Pearl. I think I have one more, but Dark Pearl, I mean, look at that. Like such a pretty smoky purple shade. And then where's that other shade? Oh, here it is. I also have the shade Black Smolder, which is just a good old black base. So these are really pretty, but I feel like I need to get more use out of them to really decide how I'm feeling. I will say right off the bat, this is really, really good if you want a long wear black smudging product. The pigment is it's definitely the richest black eyeshadow that I own as far as creams go. Incredibly budge proof as well. You can see these have been on my hands for, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. And they still have a bit of that blend, but they've already started to set down. So I find that they do give you enough time to work, but again, they're going to be more on the long wearing side. But I'm going to be honest here. I feel like if you're going to go with one cream eyeshadow from Charlotte Tilbury, the Eyes to Mesmerize definitely have my heart, but I do think that these are worth looking into, maybe giving them a swatch. I just had to take a break for a second and get something to eat. Have you guys tried this Celsius? Because this is like the second time I've ever had it. I think the last time I had it was like last summer. I have an awful headache now. I am like sensitive to some caffeines, and this one just, that is not going to be one that I have again. I know a lot of people like it, but I cannot get behind this headache I just got. But anyway, we do have a few more. The Beauty Pie eyeshadow sticks are some of my absolute favorites. They are so luxe, and the formulas definitely stand up to a lot of the more luxe products that I've already talked about. I think my coupon code with them is still working. It's Mandazy sent me, so I'll leave it down below in case you guys want to use it. But this is the shade Brazillionaire. This is one of my favorites. Just such a pretty antique gold. You can see the pigmentation on these is very, very even and smooth. And Taupe, which is another favorite, their mattes are, I think, the best cream stick shadow mattes that I've used. Look at that. The blend, the creaminess, there's just really nothing that quite compares. Huntress is another really pretty shade. Really, really even shine to them. And then I also have the shade Wild Violet as well. So there really are a lot of diverse shades to choose from. This isn't even all of the shades. They have a bunch more. But yeah, if you prefer more of a creamy cream eyeshadow formula, these are incredibly blendable and easy to work with. As a whole, these are definitely ones to keep on your radar. So I'll be keeping all of those. As far as one that I think I'm going to pass along, or actually I'm probably gonna throw this away. It's the shade Army from Nudestix. I've had this for a long time, but I really liked this as like a very budge proof kind of product to put on the lower lash line, to kind of use as like a liner product. This is just so old that it's time for it to go. Another one that I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it or what I'm going to do, just because I know that you guys can't get it now. It's the CoverGirl True Naked Queenship Cream Stick Eyeshadow. I would love for CoverGirl to come back out with this formula because it's a really, really good budge proof eyeshadow stick. We also have some Kiko eyeshadow sticks, which are some of the first eyeshadow sticks I think I've ever tried. So I'm going to leave the shades down below because I feel like these are notoriously difficult to find like the shade name of them. But this is 04, very, very creamy product. I think my favorite shade though is this one, the shade 38. It's this really, really gorgeous taupe with just a very soft shimmer throughout. Again, super, super blendable. These won't last quite as long as something like the ones from Beauty Pie or even the e.l.f. ones, but they do have a really pretty blendable, creamy formula. And then lastly, the shade 05, which is super close to something like Amethyst from Laura Mercier, if you guys know that shade. All of these are very pretty. I have this shadow, the cream eyeshadow and liner from Ulta Beauty, and this is the shade Taupe of the World. I've talked about this before. I feel like this product just is not great as like a standalone eyeshadow. Really nice as kind of a base for something to put into the crease to make everything last longer. But as far as a product like on its own, this shade in particular, at least, I don't like. I have seen, I think, some more matte shades within this. I find that the formula is very blendable, but also, again, lasts long. So maybe I'll take a look at some of the other shades. Ulta definitely more regularly does discounts on their in-house brand, so might be one to check out for me later. And one that I'm not really sure how I feel about yet. I definitely need to keep giving it a go. It's from Jouer. It's the cream eyeshadow crayon, and it's the shade Rose Gold. So there it is right there. I think the reason why I still need to give it a go is just rose gold shades like this, for me, like on my eyes, I just don't really like them very much. I just don't think that they flatter me as much as I would like. The formula itself feels creamy enough. It's definitely already drying down, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I just gotta give this one some more time. Now, I actually have talked about before the Laura Mercier caviar sticks on my channel, and I believe I've talked about the ones from Bobbi Brown. Don't quote me on that. I personally feel like if you go with any of the shades from those lines, go with one of their matte shades, because I find that the mattes are really what stood out to me. And I probably will pick up some of those during the Sephora Spring Savings event. I think that the mattes are definitely worth the investment, but some of the shimmers I just felt like were just, again, a touch lackluster to me. I would much rather go in with something like the Dazzle Stick, or again, you know, maybe some of these other cream eyeshadows that I also have a lot of. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope that it was fun for you guys. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Again, I will leave everything I talked about linked down below for you guys, and I will hopefully see you all in my next one.